Okay, thankfully, looks like the recording's working. So, I wasn't going to do this. I was just watching my show, and I think I'm just experiencing a little frustration as I realise I hate the sound of my own voice. You know, this is something that plagues me in my day-to-day life. It plagues me in situations such as right now when I'm just wanting to create a little video. I really, really, really dislike the sound of my own voice, and it therefore makes it really hard to say anything. So, for example, I think and I feel like I have a fairly rich mental life. I think that in my mind and in my thoughts and in my mind's voice, quite a lot happens. It's quite a vibrant place. I have a lot of thoughts. They're fairly um, they're fairly understandable thoughts. Whereas, like right now, I'm just experiencing difficulty in expressing these, and I realise and I accept that this is essentially a skill. So it's a skill of an orator, someone who can um, put across their ideas and their thoughts with their voice and their words in a um, in a good manner. And I realise I don't have this ability, and it frustrates me. It's frustrating me particularly at the minute. Right now, I'm talking about the experience of doing this little recording. I feel very frustrated because leading up to the point where I hit record, I have all of the desire in the world to make a good video where I express myself and I say the things that I want to on my mind. I've got topics, I've got subjects in my mind that I could talk about, but when it actually comes to it, the sound of my own voice in my head and the feeling of talking and everything about it is just such an unpleasant experience that nothing seems to come out very well. So I suppose if I try and think of a subject right now, let's think of a subject that I want to talk about. Try to be fairly dynamic about it and realise that. So I'm supposed to start off with the boomingness of my voice. My voice feels very booming. I can feel it in my head. I mean, right now I'm wearing noise cancelling headphones, which is perhaps increasing the reverberation of my voice. But when growing up, I was I still am. It's my thing in life. An avid gamer. You know, that's my thing. And when growing up, it was just as much so, if not more. You know, I'm older now. I'm not quite as much of the gamer that I used to be. I used to consume every waking minute of my life outside of school or any other responsibilities, whereas now it still is to an extent, but not quite as intensely. It's more so just something I hold on to quite dearly and feel is quite important. And I remember when I was younger, the social side of gaming was a fairly important thing. And, you know, I got into clans, I got into just public matches online of Counter-Strike or Battlefield or anything really. And, you know, I wanted to talk with people while I played the games that I loved so much. And I remember, you know, my family within the house making comments the next day if I'd been talking with people online that they could hear me. They couldn't hear what I was saying, but they could hear that I was talking. and I can feel it in my head right now. There is a reverberation in my voice. I don't think I have a deep voice, but I think that there is a boomingness to it, an awkward, uncomfortable booming whenever I talk, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable. And when I feel it in my head while I'm talking, like right now, it makes me want to stop talking. I hate it. I hate it when I'm talking on the phone and other people are nearby. I hate that. When I'm at work and I'm talking to someone nearby and I think other people can hear, I hate it because I feel like they can just hear my voice going like I can hear it in my head. And it's a very frustrating experience as someone who desperately wants to express themselves through their words. It's a pretty I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say debilitating. It's the word that comes to mind. It's not debilitating. I can still talk, but the second I open my mouth, I want to stop. And my thoughts, the train of my thoughts, just seems to come to a steaming halt the second I start talking. And I'm putting a massive conscious effort in right now to try to maintain a train of thought while I talk. And it doesn't feel particularly natural or good. Like kind of celebration. I don't want to drive in celebration. Yeah, so I'm just trying to think of a subject that I want to talk about. When I walk my dog, I usually talk to myself, and outwardly as well. Not with other people around. I'm very conscious of anyone else seeing me talking to myself. But providing there's no one else around, and I'm confident there's no one else around, I have little conversations with myself in my head, and they're so rich. I talk about just about anything deeply and honestly, and then it makes me think, oh God, I'd like to share this online. So I start to do something like this, but the second I open my mouth, it's very difficult. I have admiration, I suppose, for anyone who's good at it, and I'm putting an awful lot of effort into enunciating my words, which is something that I struggle with. I mumble. I'm a mumbler. So let's think of a subject. Right now, I'm playing through the Final Fantasy games. I'm currently on Final Fantasy V. Having played 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the previous months. I think it's taken me around 3 weeks to finish each game. The first 3 games I had to rely on guides heavily, but then the 4th and 5th games, for the most part, I've done without guides. The problem with these games, and probably older games in general, but my experience of these Final Fantasy games, is that they seem to give you a bit of exposition and give you sort of a bit of text, bearing in mind there's no voice acting, it's all on text, and the second you click on next, or hell, even just the D-pad or the R1 or L2 button skips that bit of text. If you miss that bit of text that tells you where you should be going next or what you need to be doing, it's gone. So there's been a couple of times where I've just been playing absent-mindedly and completely missed what it's told me to do next. And I've had to look at a guide. A couple of times that's happened, and I've just gone to pretty much every location and walked through it, and usually a cutscene triggers. And I've been lucky enough to go to the right location before getting too frustrated. Yeah, so I'm towards the end of Final Fantasy V, and then I've got Final Fantasy VI. I'm very excited to get to Final Fantasy VII. If I'm honest, I'm frustrated now. This Final Fantasy V has the... I don't know whether to call it real-time turn-based combat, but it's semi-real time and it's got the job system. And if I'm honest, I don't like it. It constantly feels like I've got all my characters as the wrong jobs, and it feels like I'm doing something wrong, and I've spec'd my characters out wrong. It feels like the game has an optimum way to be played, and I'm trying to guess what it is that it wants me to do, which I don't find. As a modern gamer, bearing in mind I've gamed for the last 25 years, or however long I've been alive, really. I'm 32 now, and I can only guess that I've been playing games since I was very young, as I've been playing games since before I can remember. I know that much. So I'm not completely alien to classic and older games, but this one single aspect of the older games is very frustrating to me. This sort of, here's all these options, but there's a right one, and there are lots of wrong ones. So I'm constantly feeling like I'm playing it wrong. I'm currently grinding a lot to try and get past bosses, and this is something I've had to do in all of the games. I'll just have a swig of my drink here. I'm currently drinking a BrewDog beer. It's very nice, very strong. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the Final Fantasy games. I'm so excited to get to 7, 8, 9, the ones that really propelled the franchise. And it feels, I did this with Yakuza last year. I played every single Yakuza game in the franchise, from Kiwami 1 all the way through to 6. I'd previously played 0 a few years ago, and I'd played Like a Dragon a couple of years ago. And I'd already played Judgment and Lost Judgment before going through Kiwami 1 to Yakuza 6. Incredible games. And absolutely some of my best gaming memories is working through that franchise. 100%. And that's actually why I'm working through the Final Fantasy franchise, because of the experience I had doing the same thing with Yakuza. So yeah, but I am at this point, if I'm honest, at a point where I'm like, I just want 5 and 6 to be done. I don't think 6 is going to be massively different to what I've experienced in the last few Final Fantasy games. All in all, 1 through to 5 have been pretty similar. The combat systems have been very different, and they seem to be increasing in the amount of exposition they give you as the games go on. But yeah, I've enjoyed them, but I'm ready for them to be finished now. I'm hoping 6 ditches the semi-real-time combat, as I'll be honest with you, I really don't like it. I prefer the just sort of turn-based, it's your turn, pick what you want to do, it's their turn, etc. Wait for them to have their turn, and then it comes back to your turn. I could go into quite some depth about why I dislike the semi-real-time combat. I suppose I will a little bit. So your meter builds up, and then you get to choose whether to attack, or you can choose whether to do your character's the job's special ability, or to use an item. And while you're hovering around the decision of what exactly to do, time is passing, so your enemies can do something, which sounds fair enough. But once you've clicked on attack and you choose who to attack, or you've clicked on your character's special ability and you choose which one to use, if it's white magic, black magic, time magic, whatever, then time will stop and wait for you. But say if you open up the menu for white magic, and then you think, shit, actually I don't want white magic, I want time magic, is something that character can also do. When you come out of it and switch between the menu for white magic to time magic, time passes a little bit. So if you mistakenly choose the wrong subcategory for that character, one of the enemies can then have a move, and that move might knock one of your characters out or debilitate one of your characters. And then so if you if you're doing this while another character is ready to make a move, and then you finally get to using that character's move that was queued up waiting to go, you then technically have longer to wait until the next time it can go. To me, it's not a very balanced system. It doesn't feel good. I prefer it to just be time based. Just gonna have another drink. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it, and it's Final Fantasy IV had the same thing, and I didn't like it there either. So I'm hoping 6 doesn't do it again, and also ditches the job system. I prefer for each character just to have a class that's predefined for it, and you work on it. I don't like the jobs. Yeah. So that's my experience with Final Fantasy. Once I get to 7, I know that that's like an absolute classic. I've played the remake, or part 1 of the remake, I should say, and that was mind-blowingly good. Absolutely love that game. And that was without having played another Final Fantasy game apart from the demo for Final Fantasy VIII when I was about 8 years old. And then Final Fantasy VIII, I've got those fond memories of playing the demo and the cutscenes being incredible, and I had dreams about those cutscenes. I'm looking forward to getting to that. 9, I've heard, is a fan favourite, as well as 10. And then, yeah, the newest one that's come out, I don't even know what number that is. That's got really good reviews. So yeah, I feel quite blessed to be playing through the franchise. It's pretty much, apart from a bit of Modern Warfare 2 Resurgence and this, which is BeamNG.drive, I'm not really playing anything else. I quite like the whole marathoning a game franchise, and I'm thinking what is my next franchise that I play through going to be? I don't know. I think Kingdom Hearts is a contender, but I might want to get away from JRPG feeling games. After I'm done with this, I might want to go for something that I've never finished before. I mean, Witcher 3. I've started to play. I've got very close to the end the first time I played it when it first came out in 2015 or whenever it was. And I've started to play it again a couple of times on the Switch, which I've got it on. I think I'd like to play it on my gaming laptop, which I'm currently playing on, and actually finish it and play the expansions. But I don't know. I've been there so many times, I think I'd just delegate that to been there, done that territory. Maybe an older FPS franchise, No One Lives Forever, maybe. I don't know. I quite like going back through older games. So yeah, at the minute, Final Fantasy is my thing, and it's going to keep me going for a while. Like it's taken me 3 to 4 weeks to finish each game. I think around about. I've maybe finished 1 or 2 of them within 2 weeks. So going at this rate, I've still got a good few months of Final Fantasy left, if not the rest of the year, if not more. I don't know, but yeah. Oh dear. Oh. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, the car feels weird now. I messed it up. So yeah, just a quick sort of. I've wanted to do something to upload to YouTube for a while. This feels like a good video to do that with. I want to. Oops. That's actually a good thing. I accidentally pressed the left on the D-pad, which actually respawns the car. Well, I wanted to do moto vlogging because I've got a new motorbike about a month ago. I got the Suzuki V-Strom 650. It was 2019. It's incredible. I passed my motorbike test in 2016, and I think I've got a few videos up on here of me on my first bike, which was a Honda Hornet, which was a W Reg, which I think is year 1999, maybe 2000, but I think 1999. Absolutely love that bike, but this V-Strom is, well, it's 20 years of advancement on top of the Hornet, and it's incredible. I love it. It's an upright, sort of adventurous style bike. It's a lot of confidence. It's very confidence inspiring. It's comfortable. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm so lucky. At the minute, I'm commuting on it. Not every week. I'm sort of mixing in commuting on my old push bike because my current job is entirely office based. I don't get any exercise doing it like I have in older jobs. So I'm still trying to cycle on my non-electric bike, not my e-bike, but my non-electric bike, just to get the exercise. Currently my e-bike is just sort of in storage, really. Which is a shame. I will use it again. It's just at the minute it's just in storage. I'm trying to get exercise and get use out of the V-Strom. I would love to do some sort of moto vlogging. I have my old GoPro, but it's been sat without any charging it for years now. And I'm just not convinced it's going to work. And even if it did, I have no way of recording my voice at the minute. So I need some sort of headset communication in my helmet to do that. But I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to do that, but for now, I'm just gonna, do like these whenever I feel like it. This might be a one-off. Historically on YouTube, I'll make a little video and put it online. I struggle to do and upload anything that's talking personally. I feel like I've talked really personally in this, but I've recently marked all of my YouTube videos as public again. I'd marked quite a few of them as private. Probably because they spoke about, they were too personal, or I thought, it's embarrassing. And I think, I've just got to a point where I think I don't care. I really don't care. I don't do much with my free time. So it's not like I know many people who I need to feel embarrassed around, if you know what I mean. Who have I got to embarrass? My wife would not be embarrassed by these videos. She'd think it was very typically me. She wouldn't be surprised. She's seen my room tours from when I was younger. She wouldn't be mind blown by the fact I'm making a video like this. If anyone I knew personally saw the video, I don't care. I don't care if they think it's embarrassing or whatever. I like to be able to do these little videos and then look back on them and just see what my thoughts were and see what I was playing or whatever. There's not loads of them, but it's quite a nice little way to keep track of where you were and what you were doing. Yeah, so I think that's about it for this video. I'm actually really enjoying just cruising around in this game. I've been doing this a bit. I've been listening to podcasts and playing this game, just doing this, basically driving around and listening to Rob Brydon's podcast at the minute and a bit of Louis Theroux's podcast, or maybe playing a bit of Call of Duty and doing the same thing. It's pretty chill, to be honest. Yeah, I've not really got anything else to say, so I'm going to stop it here, but yeah, I never know how to finish these. Not that I do them regularly, but it just feels awkward. It feels sort of like, do I say peace out? Do I say bye-bye? So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stop the recording and stick this thing on YouTube. Yeah, that's it.